Just Eve. Just Eve.
Welcome back. I know it's been so long since we've had some words, but I do not intend on being here for any very long length of time. I really wanted to just kind of finish my point from last night. So, welcome back. Happy Black History Month. I'm Eve. Tonight is February 22nd, 2025. And, well, like I said, a continuation from last night. If you didn't join us last night, that's fine. I really, so many new people around here. I'm humbled and thankful and surprised by all of the new faces in these places. But you might not have checked out my live last night. I'm really not sure what the algorithm is doing because at first I thought that maybe there was a shadow ban because the reception from my content versus what I was actually seeing, the math wasn't mathing. Last year I made it a point to make that a statement, and then people ran with it because the math really wasn't mathing. Things were not adding up. But I've learned that, well, application matters. And as such, it is all about, speaking things to existence. So if you are cool with the math not math, and then maybe you stop there. Maybe you just continue to complain about things versus actually try to do something about things. I really want to have a channel where people are implementing strategies that they've learned about. We don't, well, I guess let me say, as soon as we think that we know it all, then we probably need to go ahead and retire. Do the advising from the elders aspect and standpoint. Maybe you get you a box booth at the game, because you've made it. You don't have to sit amongst the peons and watch the sport, watch the competition. No, you get to do it above everybody else. And you get extra trinkets and merch and special little snacks to show that you really are worth all of the trouble. And some of our elders, like Dr. Clyde Winters, like our good brother Dr. Short, there are some people who need their flowers, like right now, like in 2025, because they're still here. And between Dr. Short and Dr. Winters, that's like about maybe 15, 20-year difference. So when we have ancestors, recent ancestors like Mr. Neely Fuller Jr., and he was creeping up on 100, it's like, well, we do live to be old. if racism, white supremacy doesn't have its way with us, if we don't take ourselves out, if we don't get got by somebody who looks like us, if we aren't a victim of circumstance, if we aren't a stereotype and we aren't a statistic, then maybe we do get to live our lives as full as they allow it to be, and then from there, I guess as long as you're not expecting any justice, then you might live to be 360 years old. I mean, did y'all see President Trump? He was reading off ages of people who were currently receiving Social Security. And at the first age group of 90 to 100, as an old person himself, he even admitted, I do know some old people, they are out here. Sure. Okay, 100 to 110. I mean, I guess maybe I know a few. And I'm not talking about me specifically. I'm talking about President Trump, the old white man that's in office right now was having to take a trip down memory lane into his Rolodex of people that he knows to try to figure out if he knows people that are actually as old as the people who have been getting paid for as long as they've been getting paid. And no, I don't actually think that these people are out here. And no, I don't think that it's white people just stealing resources as much as I do think that there are people stealing resources under the guise of, well, if you have the appropriate paperwork, then everything is good. You know, they're not supposed to be reusing social security numbers. 2 years ago, when I started publicly saying, hey, they know who we are, Black America, but specifically the people who were here before the interruption, the people who were integral to our first world status today. You know, the foundation of this land, us. You know, and then when you start talking about us specifically, you find that we have a longer history here on this land. And as such, well, maybe there's a priority of things. This Black History Month, I really hope that people are paying attention to the priority of things. Because when you put yourself last, well, maybe that's why you have the shortest month of the year. Maybe that's why you have one of the coldest months of the year. Maybe that's why you've accepted the fact that America will only be able to digest you for about 28 days, 29 days on a leap year. But, you know, for the most part, we're going to have to do other things to balance all of this blackness out, because the deeper we dig, the blacker it gets. And it's too much black. It's too much. We can't make the math outside of just lying. And yeah, they have lied about a lot of things, like our numbers. How many people are here? How many of those people look like me? And then how many of those people who look like me share the same story? You know, maybe you're like our former president, Mr. Barack Obama, or our former vice president, Mrs. Kamala Gopalan Harris, you know, but if you're not Black when convenient, then why aren't you accepting your rightful place in the story? You know, without us, you're unable to use the internet right now. Without us, you are unable to be in whatever room you're in with the light on. Without us, you are unable to get from point A to point B in a vehicle that makes sense, because, well, it is because of us that all of these things are possible. And while you might pull some sort of record, patent, Guinness World Record of somebody else that isn't Black, I would just very comfortably let you know that the I'm white and I say so doesn't work over here. If there have been numerous documentation of other people doing things, and then you happen to come along at whatever time you come along, and then, well, now you're the person who is doing these things, I call foul on the play. I'm going to go ahead and throw a flag on it. You know, we're going to have to call it technical difficulty. There's some kind of violation happening, but most of us have grown very weary of calling foul on their plays. You know, we've grown to accept whatever it is that they are giving out, even if it's shit on a plate. But I'm sorry, I don't eat doo-doo. And I know y'all don't eat doo-doo either, but if you're accepting whatever these people in these positions of power are giving you, then aren't you essentially eating crap? And then asking for more? You can look at the Democratic-run places, cities, and find that this party that has been preaching to Black America specifically has been going out of their way to do things that don't work or benefit Black America. And then like I've been saying since Donald Trump was reelected, it took a whole racist to get into office and make some things plain. I'm not saying that Donald Trump is my friend, but I am saying that he is making sense in a time when the math wasn't mathing, in a time where you could be born with a penis, chop it off, add some titties, and say that you're female now. To the point where we've got angry black women who I guess normally would be championed. It would probably be very comfortable for you to put the cape on for Jasmine Crockett. She called Marjorie Taylor Greene a badly built, bleached blonde person. And all of us agreed. I mean, she is badly built. Also, she is bleached blonde. And well, I mean, if the shoe fits, right? But if it's a broken clock, are we supposed to follow it? Or do we just take note that, hey, that clock is broken, and, a couple times a day it's going to be accurate. Most of the time it's going to be wrong. But, then coincidentally, the time will line up. And, well, 2025, the year of the 47th presidency, the year of the 119th Congress, the year of two melanated people in the Supreme Court, the court that rules all of the land. Things are very strange, right?
Look, let me start out by saying this. If I offend anybody today, I don't give a shit. Don't care. The media in the back room, I'm sure I'll be reading a lot of hit pieces on me tomorrow. I don't give a shit what you think about me. I get asked all the time, does a big part of this country that hates your guts? I don't care. I don't care. Because we got a job to do. I wake up every day for the last 4 years pissed off.
All right, so the white man on your screen, if you are unfamiliar, that is my man's boss. That's Tom Homan. And if you wanted, you could go get a job. Like, you're so angry about these illegals and tethers. You really, they're hiring right now. There's a whole bonus. You can sign up, go get your basic training in one of the 3 different areas that you can get your basic training, and go work for Border Patrol. The fact that they've been rounding up illegals working for Border Patrol, there are openings. Really. And, well, the borders need to be secure. This man's been waking up for the past 4 years angry. I've been waking up for the past 37 years angry. A lot of y'all have been waking up a lot longer than me angry. And it's because the math ain't mathin'. But it's really that we've decided to ignore some parts of the equation. And as such, the math ain't mathin'. If you think that the government, the American system was designed for everybody, well, you're a person that Mr. Neely Fuller would say is confused, even though he didn't say that specifically. That's my word, confused. That's you thinking that you have a place in a system that doesn't like you, wants to eradicate you, would really prefer that you not be here anymore. But here you are at the table like, hey, I know you forgot me the last time you were passing out that food that everybody's eating, but hey, maybe on this time, this go around, this pass through, this walk around, you can include me. And sometimes you get some crumbs. Most times you get nothing. Most times you get ignored, but sometimes they pay attention to you. When they want something, when they don't really need you for anything, they can ignore you for the things that they said that they would provide. And again, it took a whole racist to get into office to say some things before everybody was like, of course, you know what? You're right. That amendment for them slaves. Okay, we don't have slaves anymore, but we do have that school to prison pipeline that was specifically designed to target those Negras over there in America. The math is starting to math, and, well, maybe there's something we can do, because we don't like the fact that we're in the global red. We being the people like the guy on your screen. If you lack melanin, you don't season your food the right way, so you're not here for a long time. You've got cognitive issues. You've got vitamin D issues. You've got people to people and social issues. If you come from a people who used to eat other people, you're going to have some social issues. Be that as it may, we're in 2025. Most of people are not eating other people. And from there, we have to exist, coexist, and work together if we want things to be great. Donald Trump came back to the presidency and said that he was going to make America great again. Not that he didn't make America great the first time, but, he's going to do it again. And I promise y'all, as God is my witness, if Donald Trump designed the ERS to get rid of the IRS so that there are more funds available for America to spend here at home, and we have some Black lawyers who are not afraid of power. The Johnny Cochrans, where are y'all at? Because when we get those two things working in tandem, not that they are friends or friendly, but just that they understand that the enemy of my enemy is somebody that I can work with, then maybe we clean house. And since spring is right around the corner and we are in Black History Month, I thought it fitting to, start with some spring cleaning, right? That's what people should be doing when they're getting ready for the change of seasons. I get it. It's not necessarily what everybody's doing, but we got to start somewhere, right? I think starting with people who are actively breaking the law and then know that they're breaking the law, know that they've had ample time to do things that make sense, ample time to get their paperwork in order, and then they're mad about getting deported. It's almost like, I'm not a nigger. Why are you treating me like them niggers over there? I'm not them. I'm not asking for reparations. I'm not asking for anything more than, what you gave those poor white people that came over here 100 years ago. Those Ellis Island immigrants. Those people who might be like, I don't know, from the same place that the president's parents and grandparents are from. And I'm sorry, the amount of white people over here, y'all need to start showing your paperwork too. Because as much as I know that it's fraudulent, at least it would give you a timeline, or it'd give us a timeline, because our paperwork, we've been paper genocided. You've got people like Walter William Plecker who are writing us out of existence in the early 1900s. So Black America, the foundation of America, the people who've been disenfranchised first, before the Asian Indians, before the Mongoloid yellow Indians, that the people that are on them reservations and have treaties that they've specifically excluded from another group of people. All of these people are invaders. And while the first group of invaders who got invaded and then got the treaties written for them might still kind of be around, if you look up the statistics, it's a lot of drug abuse, substance abuse, alcoholism, gambling issues, and just general stupid shit going on with people who are supposed to be of the land. You can't be of the land and then be told that you need to pay taxes on your land. No, you would fight for it, but that's not what happened. You actually fought against the people who are of the land. And when everybody is on the same side against one group of people, the math starts mathing. 2025, we've got the same shit happening, but different. We've got Americans, people who are supposed to be here, at least based off of the current laws and regulations. And then you've got people breaking the law, people who are not supposed to be here, and then people who followed the rules. They feel some kind of way. You've got people who, again, Mr. Holman's only been mad for about 4 years. And, well, in his 4 years of getting angry and finding out that, well, you don't actually have the resources that make things work in your benefit as much as you've got the complexion for the protection. There's only so much you can do, Tom.
Because the Biden administration took the most secure border in my lifetime and unsecured on purpose, right? I worked for 6 presidents starting with Ronald Reagan. Every president I ever worked for took steps to secure the border. Even Clinton and Obama took steps to secure the border because they clearly understood you can't have national security without border security. They got it. Joe Biden's the first president in history of the nation who came into office and unsecured the border on purpose. So for 4 years, I wake up every day pissed off. That changed November 5th. Now I wake up every day excited because I work for the greatest president of my lifetime, Donald J. Trump. But I want more.
And I didn't vote for Donald Trump, but these past couple of wake-ups under the new presidency, I don't know that I've been angry. Under Joe Biden and Kamala presidency, the fact that things were costing so much and that there were people over here getting benefits, having the ability to get credit and not work for it, people who didn't have to show that they had a clean bill of health, let alone a clean bill of people-to-people skills. You could have been a whole warlord somewhere else and came here with your hand out. And Joe and Kamala were like, yes, please, more of you. And if you like diddling things that don't want to be diddled, we definitely want you. If you like giving people drugs, we definitely want you. How do we know? Because we're going to call the Border Patrol away from the border for indefinite periods of time. What the hell is that? How do you have people who are supposed to work the border and then you call them away for other things? What other things? Their entire job is to secure the border. And no, that doesn't mean that somebody's going to be at the border every minute of every day. But God damn it, there is somebody crossing the damn border all the time. If it's not every minute of every day, I'm not trying to have unrealistic expectations, but I am saying that if you specifically pull the people off of the border who are supposed to be working the border and you don't actually put more people there, what do you think's gonna happen? I mean, really, what's supposed to happen? Because the maths, y'all.
We got 700,000 illegal aliens walking the streets of this country with criminal convictions. We got to arrest more. We got to increase targeting. We got to increase operations. We got to take sanctuary cities on. Sanctuary cities don't help. We'll double the manpower of sanctuary cities. This is a never-ending effort that we're not going to slow down. We're going to increase. So this is what's happening. We want more arrests. We want more action. And I won't rest. I won't rest. Every criminal illegal alien is eradicated from this country. Every illegal alien gang member is eradicated from this country. Our numbers will help. They're looking good. Not good enough. I'm not satisfied. We're going to keep pushing.
All right. I like to hear those high standards. That's important.
I like to hear those high standards too, because it sounds like it's merit-based. He's giving himself a goal and then he's trying to reach it. And then, I'm sorry, I know y'all don't like Tom because he fumbles his words. He doesn't speak good English, but y'all are also people who told me I had to press 1 for an English speaker. And then I got somebody who was over in Durka land. How? Sway? I'm sorry. No. Tom has gone public about, look, I don't know everything, goddammit, but I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out so fast and so hard, you're not even going to know what hit you. And I'm sorry, I can appreciate a person who accepts their humanity, accepts their limitations and what they can and can't do. In addition to having a president who doesn't really care about what he can and can't do as much as he's going to do what he said he was going to do. Donald Trump has been in office for less than 60 days, and he's done more than Joe Biden and Kamala did in 4 years with regards to putting Americans first. And you might say, Eve, he's only putting the white Americans first. But my response to you would be that if there's not that many white Americans and they want us to believe it's a whole bunch of white Americans, then he really is putting everybody else first, and they just don't want to say it like that. Y'all have to get hip to the fact that people are not going to tell you when you're winning. If y'all listened to the new black media and then applied the shit that these people talk about, then maybe you would get comfortable with the fact that nobody's going to be comfortable right now. If Babylon is burning, unless you're fireproof, you're going to be very uncomfortable. But in your discomfort, maybe something else has the ability to do something. I'm not sitting here saying that you need to kamikaze or blow anything up that you've created or made happen, brought to fruition. I'm not saying that you need to do the self-destruct button, but I am saying that a lot of us have taken the let me sit this one out aspect of it all. And I can respect that bigly because it's not our fight. As soon as we realize that we don't have a dog in this fight, we can use our resources towards things that make sense. Black Wall Streets, that was because we were not being interrupted. We were finally given some pause, some time alone. And no, we didn't actually get any repair. The reparations aspect didn't happen. And it would be lots of years before a majority of Black America was on the same page about how that happens. But still, when you leave us alone, we finally have a chance to breathe. And when we breathe, not only do we have all these Black Wall Streets that pop up, we have all these inventions that pop up, we have Harlem Renaissance and this creative boom and spark that benefits the world. Well, when people start dying out, they start looking for people to procreate with. They start looking for people to lay with. And when those people that you used to have under your boot, the people that you used to have under your thumb, and they're doing better than you ever thought that they could, because really they're supposed to die out. Without us, they wouldn't be able to exist. They come from bush meat eating people. No, that's just maybe a fraction of us. And well, when you got over here, is not a lot of bush meat that you're eating as much as maybe you start eating squirrels and rabbits and stuff. And that all seems like normal. When you start eating cats, I don't know. Cats have never been a outside animal as much as I know that they be outside sometimes. So maybe that's a cultural thing. If you eat cats, I don't necessarily hate you. If you eat dogs, I don't necessarily hate you. If you eat guinea pigs, though, what's wrong with you? No, I'm just playing. This Black History Month, we've got a lot of tricks happening. And then inside of the tricks, we're going to have to focus on, what's going to work, the politics of it all, because we've got a president setting precedents. And because nobody likes us, they're not going to say, hey, Black America, this is for you. As much as maybe they blow a dog whistle. And I get it. Some of y'all never had a dog. Some of y'all don't know what a dog whistle is as much as you might have seen it on a cartoon. Maybe you've heard about it. You've heard about it like gaslighting, all these terms that mean these big things, and you just kind of feel how you feel about them. No, a dog whistle is a whistle that only dogs can hear because of the frequency. I guess maybe they've got like a duck whistle and a dolphin whistle, and they've got devices that certain animals are going to pick up on versus other animals because of how they're able to interpret energy. From there, well, I told you, it's a whole racist in office right now. Why would you think that he's going to say, hey, black people, this is how you get reparations under me? Because I'm sorry, like I said earlier, if President Trump implements the ERS in order to eviscerate the IRS, and that leaves a lot of funds available for America to do things that make sense for America, my number one priority would be to right the original wrong, pay the original debt, make the trickle down effect real, and then watch the economy explode, because we feed the economy, we fuel the economy, and when we have resources, we can do things to bolster and strengthen what we already have going on. But maybe you've been tricked. Maybe the politics of it all, you think that you don't have a say. But if you're a person who's been courted every single time there's an election and says, hey, well, I get that they're gonna have to do stuff for other people first because I guess they've got resources to pay for these things to be prioritized. All right, fine. I'm a black person in America and I don't actually have resources, so let me I'll take the back burner. I'll be in the passenger seat. I'll wait my turn. And then they tell you it's not your turn again the next time it's time to vote for them. And then it's not your turn again. And then it's not your turn again. And well, since 1960, that's almost 80 to 90 years ago? Almost a century ago, Black people voted very conservatively, very proudly for the Republicans, or for the Democrats who used to be Republican. I'm not sure, but that's more of Mr. Fuller's teachings coming into play. If you don't understand the system of racism, white supremacy, everything you think you know, you don't know. And the quicker we get that, the quicker we can progress. While I pull up this other clip.
Just Eve. Just Eve. Just Eve. Just Eve. Put the check black first because it's brilliant. People talk too much. Say less. Remain on code, follow the spirit. When the going gets tough, it's time for resilience. A fight inherited, no turning back, we're on our way. Tune into Eve at the end of your day. Defying the odds, she's breaking the mold. Black, beautifully blunt, Eve's story is bold. Unpopular talks, but they need to be heard. Eve's on a mission, spreading the word. Black America is fighting the oldest fight. Using her voice, shining the light. Stay ready, stay strong, that's her creed. Eve's got the wisdom, planting the seed. Just Eve. Just Eve. Just Eve. Just Eve. Planting seeds. Cut the check black first because it's brilliant. People
Appreciate y'all's patience while I pull this up. Look, a lot of y'all voteps. Look, it's equal opportunity over here. I know I talk a lot of shit about Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, Kamswala, Kamala, Curry Harris, Gopalan, for the streets, and Willie Brown's sheets. I don't give a shit who's in office. If they don't care about us, then I don't care about them. But a lot of y'all, you haven't quite divorced yourselves from the system as much as you don't like how one side of the system did it. So you jumped ship to the other side. And I would urge you guys to watch The Sopranos, because as much as I hate using them people as an example, god damn it, they got it right. With The Sopranos. They got it right. I promise. They got it right. Okay. Watch this. Check this out.
You know why this demonized, corrupt system is upset and mad? with President Trump and Elon Musk, his cabinet team. They are mad with them because they are uprooting the corrupt and evil system that has been taking all of our tax-paying money. And my God says that this is enough. Enough is enough. And the Bible says, when the godly are in authority, the people will rejoice. But when the wicked are in power, we are in pain, sorrow, and grief. And we are definitely disapprove of this corrupt system or administration. President Trump, if you need a smart, intelligent, strong, black woman of God, a warrior for Christ, and they said that I'm going back on the plantation, please, anybody, would you let me know if you know where that black plantation?
And that's where I'm gonna have to draw a line, you guys, because I swear to God, y'all are sounding like the Democrats. You know, you got the Republicans and you got the Democrats, Democrats, if you will. Either way, you two wings, same bird. You cannot think that the other side of the bird isn't corrupt. If the bird is toxic, the whole bird is toxic. If one wing is toxic and you ain't chopped that bitch off, the whole bird is toxic. We've got amputations that need to happen, some pruning to the Garden of Eden, America, if you will. You know, the maths, when you peel the layers back and you're comfortable understanding that this system is not broken. It's not. The system is working exactly the way it's supposed to, and it took a person like Donald Trump to get into office and say, hey, did you know this stuff over here is happening? Because while you are being exposed to these things that are happening, I'm going to do these other things. And it's going to be too late before you can do anything about it. But that's the system working.
From 120 years old, people that are 120 years old up to 129, 3,472,000 people. Wow. You know, that can't possibly be, because the record is like, I think it's one person, a woman, lived to 127, but they have 3,472. Okay, but now we're going really in. People from 130 years old to 139-year-old, 3,936,000. Wow. I wonder if people are getting paid with all this. I mean, are these checks? And that's what we're checking right now. People from 140 years old to 149 years old, 3,542,000, 140 years old and beyond. Now we're really going, because we're looking to break the record by 25 years. People from 150 years old to 159 years old, 1,345,000. These are in the, by the way, these are in the computer files. This is what they do well.
I mean, if you thought I were exaggerating, I mean, that's the president himself talking about what's been exposed by Doge. And I know a lot of y'all don't like the fact that Elon has his grubby little fingers in your accounting, but I mean, Elon or the no-name white guy or white woman or non-white guy, white woman, at the end of the day, it's all the same shit. You just have a name now. Like, you have a person that you can be angry with, and because he's not even American, it's very easy for y'all to get angry. But you're not focused. You're so unfocused that it takes a white man named Bill Essayli and the Coalition for a Just and Equitable California to introduce a historic bill establishing California American Freedmen Affairs Agency. Yes, the bill that the California Congressional Black Caucus was working on for 2 years is being reintroduced. Why? Because those niggas tanked it at the 2-yard line. But it takes Bill Asaley to reintroduce it. Now, I don't live in California, y'all know that, but the enemy of my enemy is somebody I can work with, potentially. It's you Drake head ass niggas out here. You say no new friends, but all you want is some friends. Oh, you just want some goddamn friends. Somebody to listen to you and say, yeah, I agree with you. Yes, queen. Right. You doing the things. No. If anything, I hope I've been consistent. I don't need an echo chamber over here. I just need to know that y'all are having some thoughts. And, if my thoughts are too crazy for you, the comment section is welcome and open for you to voice these things. I don't block people for having a difference of opinion. I don't block people for viewing things or doing things differently than me. I just really would like people to stop and think. And if you've had the time during your week to stop and have a thought with me, I'm very appreciative of your presence here. But I'm gonna ask you to get uncomfortable because look, Black History Month is only 28 days a year. 29 days on a leap year every 4 years. Right. So in the 28 days that everybody is comfortable with you being as Black as you want to be, why aren't you doing anything with it? I mean, yeah, you can have another street named Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, and yeah, you can paint Black Lives Matter on the ground. But why, when we have a living body of laws, that means laws that can change because we said so and then we voted for them and then they changed? Why aren't we doing anything? Is it because y'all think that we're only 14% of the population? Because if 14% of the population can be more than 50% of the people in jail, more than 50% of the homeless people, and more than 50% of the people who don't have families and parents, how does that math? It doesn't, unless you accept the fact that we exist inside of a system that is designed to confuse you. And the confusion is going to be riddled with lies. Straight up and down lies. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you, but poliTRICKS, yeah, you might be on your back for a little while. You might have to be with Willie Brown to get to where you thought you was trying to get to, but you don't make it because the people, the grassroots, they've weeded you out. I would love for more people in America who are of the land, even if you are an original colonizer. Look, go outside and touch the dirt. And if you don't have any dirt, you might need to sit this conversation out, because when you touch the soil, when you have a connection with the grassroots, I think that it's very easy to understand some things and why some things don't get the opportunity to exist tomorrow. If you've got strong grass, you don't have weeds. There's no room for it. On the opposite side of things, if you've got weak grass, then you'll have weak grass roots. And if you've been listening to somebody telling you that they know everything and they are the authority on things, then you might be weak. And it's going to be very uncomfortable for you to get that strengthening that you need to do the things, because we are being tricked, and it's not just us. And the fact that it's not just us, but we are the shit end of the stick, it's up to us to do more. Same way your parents told you that, you black in America, so you're going to have to work twice as hard to get half as much. It's the same shit. Because when you finally get what's owed to you, do you think that people are going to leave you alone? Do you think they're going to let you just be on your land with your resources, unencumbered, unadulterated, uncompromising? You don't have to fight for what's yours. You won't have to maintain anything as much as you got it now and it's yours. If that's how you feel, look at all the Section 8 around the country. There's a lot of people living off of handouts, and they don't look like me. In 2025, in a time where most of the people who are getting assistance from the government look like Donald Trump, you would think it's easy for us to do something different. But, well, in the 60s, when we used to vote very conservatively, and then we changed for a more radical approach, and then, well, interracial sexual access turns into don't ask, don't tell. Okay, I won't ask you, but you'll tell me anyway, and I'm not supposed to feel some kind of way. And now I feel like I'm a 2-year-old piglet who wants to roll around on the bathroom floor in mud. You got to accept me for who I am, because, well, that's just the lay of the land. It's the law of the land. The law, it's living, and we can change it. And right now it says that I can be a piglet on my bathroom floor with mud, and you have to accept it. And if you don't, I can say discrimination. I can sue you for all sorts of different things. And then this man on your screen gets into office, all sorts of racist, and has his favorite Negroes. I mean, you can look at his Black History Month celebration and see that man loves golf. And for what it's worth, I really do think that he really loves Tiger Woods. I mean, he loves Tiger so much that he was calling him black. And Donald Trump knows Tiger's not black. Tiger knows Tiger's not black. But for Black History Month, 28 days a month, 28 days a year, Donald Trump and Tiger Woods get to act like they know things. And the people around them will clap for them. poliTRICKS. I'm sorry, that orange is the new black, right? That was a show. But no, they were probably talking about the Trump presidency that was coming. The orange is the new black. The nigga you love to hate. There's a whole felon in office, and it's not a black guy. Can y'all just sit for a moment and just pause with the symbolism of all that's going on? And when you've given yourself some pause and some respect for the pause, because it's a lot, I just hit you with some crazy realizations. There's a lot that can be done because it's more of us than them. End your pause knowing that there's more of us than them. And you already know that. And now that you know that, what are you going to do with it?
Just eat.